to the restaurant, how did you, your journey within the food industry, how did that come about? It's not an easy industry. I feel for all of you so much. Like, is what I can say. But talk to me about your journey within the food business.
You won't believe I actually started in advertising. But my hours were so
that one is
long.
worse. Isn't advertising worse
my
and
hours
harder?
were so long. I
Yes.
thought I was running away. I was wasting my time. So I started with food at Fantuka Lounge. It's a restaurant in Soshanguve. It was a fine dining
Fantuka.
restaurant.
I like
You
that
remember?
name. Fantuka Lounge. Because I'm a
Yes.
socials girl.
Oh,
So-
yes. That's where I started my career. And then I went on into catering, where I worked for a catering company called Destiny Cuisine. And then I landed up where I am.
News Bistro.
New Street Bistro.
What was challenging about the advertising industry that you said you want to pivot? There are people who are in heavy corporate right now. They are listening and they might be thinking, Relebogile, I am considering going more where my passions lie.
I think the hours were a bit. I was a young mom. The hours were long. That time, the person who was helping me was my grandmother. So she couldn't understand. She was a nurse. And she couldn't understand, what is this child doing? This child leaves at 4 a.m. She's back at 2 a.m. because we also did production as well. So the hours were long. I would wake up and it would be, you're flying to Cape Town. And I'd be in Cape Town. And then I'd sleep over. And then I'm back. And by that time, I had my second born. I was still breastfeeding. So I said, when the opportunity came, it I actually I know quite a few people. So I called somebody one day and I was like, my hours, this, and that. And he was like, no, man, I'm looking for a general manager. And I was like, but I've never worked with food. They're like, no, come through. When I got there for the interview, they're like, you've actually started work. And I was like, what?
Wait,
Okay.
as in at the interview, it was your first day.
Yes.
Go Marago.
Yes. There were so
That's
many
how
things
good
that
you
I
were.
saw wrong that they were like, why didn't you tell the waiters? You've actually started work. And I was like, what? Okay. So
What are some of the things that you observed that, just this week we were talking about something interesting, which your story is reminding me of. We were talking about the study that many women only apply for a job if they meet the requirements 100%. Whereas men, if they meet Boma 60%, they still apply, right? So there you were, you didn't meet any criteria, but you went and you got the job. So what is it that you observed, and maybe what tips can you share when an opportunity like that presents itself? A person might be going into a situation they're completely not familiar with, but maybe there is something that you did that you feel like, was it being open-minded? Was it the confidence? Because that is what some people need when they are not just changing careers, but even just going in for job interviews.
I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is be open-minded. You always need to have an open mind. A light personality, because you don't need to take everything personally, honestly speaking. Yes, it's not easy, but for you to cope, and I'm adaptable. I think the problem with me is I adapt to anything. So the easier
Why is that a problem?
No, some people aren't, eh? Some people don't adapt easily to environments. You can't, and you study the environment. Somebody used to say to me, read the room.
Yes.
The best thing you can ever do for yourself. Because once you understand what's happening, the type of people you're dealing with, the kind of environment that you're dealing with, it becomes easy. It becomes a breeze.
Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to chat more about News Bistro and also, what it takes to turn a place around for those of you, particularly in the food business, but also just your careers and your small businesses in general. 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
And there you go, your favorite latte, hot and ready.
You never disappoint.
Listen, did you see that email? Oh, it's going down. Let's catch up later. Got another Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay, cool.
Meet our audience. They are working, living their lives, sharing stories, and always listening. So if you're going to interrupt them, it better be good. Prime Media Broadcasting Sales. We help you connect with every productive, innovative, and dynamic individual in our audience. From the open plan office to the executive suite. Contact us at advertise@primemedia.co.za today.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Mzansi, have you bought your Powerball ticket for the staggering 113 million Rand estimated jackpot this Friday? Walala wasala. Play Powerball for the estimated 113 million Rand jackpot today for your chance at winning life-changing millions. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old to play responsibly. eTuba is a proud operator of the National Lottery.
Whenever you hear deep in the heart and art of jazz, think Sia Makuzeni with the big band, Jasmine Horn, Alun Wad, the Baylor Project, Jose James sings Badu, Umu Sangare, Esperanza Spalding, Michelle Dujiocello, Elaine, Tezo, Munei, Monli Ngobo, and many other spectacular icons. Think Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, 4 stages at the Santon Convention Center, 26th, 27th, and 28th September, and take me there. Book via Ticketmaster.
702 and Corporates That Care with Hirsch's are talking about Hirsch's involvement in the Claire Ellis Brown Preschool.
So the Claire Brown School is just the most beautiful little school. This wonderful teacher came through called Sandra McLaren. She said to me something which I don't know if I should have done, but I did, was come through and visit the school. And the school had a beautiful garden, and growing up in a flat, you didn't have a garden. These little kids that live in the area now have somewhere to go and play, which just seems so special. So I thought, how can we get involved with that? And one of the things I found out was they're looking at their books. Their rates were like through the roof, like 6,000 Rand a month in rates, which was just crazy. So after finding people to speak to at the city council and irritating them for months and months, we got the rate reduced to 100 Rand a year and backdated 10 years.
Wow.
And I thought, geez, we can make a little bit of a difference here, which was awesome. Then we started fixing up the school and painting and putting new kitchens and providing food for the kids. And we've been doing that for over 20 years.
Hirsch's, proud to help grow bright futures, one child at a time. Learn more at hirsches.co.za. 702. Let's walk the talk. 702.
Food feature.
18 minutes after 1 o'clock, we continue with our food feature on 702 Afternoons as we chat News Bistro, and we are together with Mashaku Nkwedibe, who is the manager of News Bistro that you can find in the middle of Bryanston. 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. Mashaku, you were just sharing the part about reading the room, which I think is very powerful because people invest in people. And if you can hook them onto you, that can help. What is unique about your industry that requires skills of you that maybe you didn't need to use in advertising? Maybe it's the skill of like having to smile with customers that are being very difficult, and you know, those kinds of skills.
You meet a lot. I think I'll quote somebody again. They said, be a sponge. So anyone can be having a bad day and you just need to take it in. The one thing that I learned to do is I can't take any of my baggages to work. It's not going to work. I can't be sad. No matter how teary-eyed I am, I have to be happy. And that's all I need to exude.
And what skill did that teach you? Because I can completely relate. Like 10 minutes before I went on air yesterday, something had really upset me. And I had to have a rant, and then immediately I was like, 5 minutes after 1 o'clock. It's painful.
Yes,
having to switch off those side of you that wants to say, one
Yeah, it's not easy. I've learned resilience. I've learned to not take things in personally.
Oh,
I've learned, no matter how painful it is, I've learned to take criticism. I've learned, it's not an easy journey, but I've learned and I'm still learning. Look, some will say I'm still defensive, but I've even learned during conflict, disengage. Walk away, come back calmer, and then you can go back into it.
let's talk now the other part of managing people. You know, there's the aspect of dealing with suppliers that promised you this. For you to be able to serve goat meat requires a supplier you can trust. But you also have staff you need to deal with who have very real lives that are happening. And I'm sure that's one of the more difficult dynamics of being a manager. What tips can you share and what have you learned?
I think I'll even bring it to news, because with news, there were so many changes in such a short space of time that stuff becomes confused generally. So when I started, you meet this resistance, you meet that, but I had to sit them down and say, guys, this is how I work. This is how we're going to order. I will align the suppliers to give me what they want. And I've got a supplier and I've got a backup supplier. So I don't face one supplier at the same time, such that should I get disappointed, I have a plan B. Like
Does
today,
the backup know they are the backup?
They don't know. No, they never know. They can never know. But one thing you can do is you can say to a supplier, I got this at this price.
Yes.
At this, and trust you me, they're going to come down and you'll pay the price that you want to pay.
Yes. And I think that's so brilliant, because now you're also showing us that there is room for negotiation in that space.
Yes.
What happens then in the event? I mean, certain things are seasonal with your restaurant and its menu. I get very emotional when avocado is not there. And then when it is there, it's wrong. You know, like I don't want the strings, I don't want the bruises, I don't want. So when it comes to communicating not so good news, when they want their favorites, I'm also that customer's like, let's change the menu. How do you deal with that kind of, I don't want to refer to it as conflict, but you know what I mean.
We do go through that. I know I went through that with spinach. Spinach went out of season and spinach became overly pricey. And I said to my guys, I'm not going to buy spinach. We're moving to butternut.
The chef must have, and even worse, you're replacing a green veg with a yellow
And
veg.
everyone threw a fit. And I was like, listen, I've been doing this for years. Canteens, I know we move with seasonal veggies. Spinach is not you cannot buy it at this time of the year. It's not there and it's overpriced. So I'm not going to lose my profit on my plate because of spinach. Let's make a plan. But now, because we've got smoothies that have spinach, we've got detox drinks that have spinach, I'd buy just enough for the bar to produce.
Yes.
And I'd literally kill the kitchen. But we all got
The
used
chefs
to it.
are busy listening at the restaurant going, ha, 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 ha. She sacrificed.
I know, eh? But our customers understand. The beautiful thing about customers is when they walk in and you tell them from get-go, they know what to expect. So they'll tell you, I don't want butternut. Do you have seasonal veggies? Do you have mixed veggies? We can produce that.
So the menu that was served to us today, we had some goat meat, some levans, curry onions, so onions, lamb chops. We had fried rice and dumpling, but also there was a side of sort of like a acha.
And chili red.
There was a chili on the side as well. Talk to us about the menu and how you keep it up to date.
So we're a contemporary fine dining restaurant. We've got Weleda Health next door. If you know Weleda Health, they do organic medications. In the spirit of keeping all that together, we've got detox drinks, we've got health smoothies, we've got salads to accompany all of that. Then we've got, it's not just the African that we do. So we serve from breakfast right through to dinner. We do the breakfast. You've got your full breakfast, English breakfast. We've got tramezinis. We've got sandwiches. We've got, for summer, we've got smoothies, your peanut butter, your berry smoothie, which is a big hit. We've got, what else? We've got everything.
And
dessert as well.
For those of you that like sides like Ledombolo, I mean, you can head over to the Instagram pages and you'll be able to just take a look at what they're able to serve. The website newsbistro.co.za. And I mean, this restaurant came from, it was a space that was an existing restaurant prior. When you do something like that, because obviously it costs a lot more if you are starting up a restaurant to go into a place that never was set up to be a restaurant in terms of where your kitchen is, where your plugs are. How do you breathe new life into space that people are already familiar with?
So the place was known for jazz and the portraits on the wall. Now, the beauty about the current owner is he's an art collector. He's an art lover. So what you will see is different from the previous is it's a much lighter space. The colors are lighter. The artwork is bigger. The artwork is, the customers are ranting and raving about the artwork. So you would be eating, you would be looking at something, and each artwork has a story to tell. Each artwork has its own name, it has its own identity, and it's homegrown. We're not getting artwork from overseas, so it's artists from home.
What are some of the challenging conversations you have being a manager with the owner of the business? Because you live the day-to-day, and they kind of do the overview. They come when they want a plate, and then to check in. Am I right? They come for supper. But you deal with the day-to-day. You do get owners who are manager owners, but in this case, it's separate. What are the kind of difficult conversations you have? Because there are things he won't see, and there are things that you won't know.
He's a lawyer.
I love how you say it. He's a lawyer, and we're all like, oh, girl, we feel. So you can't argue with him. You'll lose.
No.
He's a
and things must make sense.
Things must make sense.
It really itemize and make sense.
What happens though, because now you can be caught between what the chefs want, which I'm a creative. There are things that don't make financial sense. But for me as an artist, dieta sense. Because maybe you can't justify why this costs so much money. But to me as the creative, it's only going to make sense with that thing.
He'll slap you with why are you spending money you don't have. But look, I because he's been an attorney all his life.
Yes.
I'm trying to ease him into everything. I'm trying to sort of sometimes, okay, when we did the compliance for the kitchen.
Yes.
I had to justify why we're using the chemicals and not using jik and not using
Oh,
handy.
I understand.
And so everything has to come with a very long email because
An explanation.
Yes, with an explanation, and he'll tell you. I reason better when I see on email rather than on WhatsApp.
I feel like he must come train my team because the email and the no, because it makes everybody accountable.
Yes.
So even then when you are the owner and you make a decision that might have an error to it, you become accountable.
You think twice.
Yes.
When you have a person like that you're reporting to, you think twice before every decision that you make.
Because
it must make sense.
Yes, because now when you're typing, you realize, this is not making sense.
Yes.
Delete the draft and go back. Why should people come to News Bistro?
Oh, the food is beautiful. The service is beautiful. I know everyone will speak about service, but we're one big happy family. The artwork will add in, the music will add in. And the beauty about us is we even allow you to connect to the sound. So if you feel like hearing your own stuff, We allow it.
Listen, you sold me on that one. Because I've been in restaurants where I'm like, connect her to Bluetooth.
No,
I'm not happy.
We are not even finicky.